Welcome to Compassion Speaks, where we give a voice to the nonprofits in the community. I'm your host, Ezra Borrego, and today we have Jason and Tricia Spear with the Darrin Reed Foundation.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And so, what made you decide to be a part of the Darrin Reed Foundation? Tell me a little bit of the history of that.
Yeah, so Trish and I got involved with the Darrin Reed Foundation, and kind of didn't plan to get involved with it. It just kind of happened. So a little history about it. So the Darrin Reed Foundation is named after a policeman who was killed on duty, who worked for the city of Show Low for a lot of years and for Navajo County as a deputy for a lot of years. So Darrin Reed was working an incident here in town a few years ago, 3 years ago, and ended up in a gunfight. And during that, he sustained some critical injuries that ultimately took Darrin's life. Now, the people who were involved in that were trafficking drugs in the city of Show Low. And Darrin, in his years as a detective and a patrolman and all this, had a real passion for chasing those type of people, or capturing them and removing them from our community. Not only that, but Darrin had a very compassionate heart for the people he interacted with all the time, on duty or off duty. He'd always find a way to help somebody, even if it was taking money out of his own pocket to buy gas or food or diapers or whatever that was. And so when Darrin was killed, we met with Kathy, his wife, Kathy Reed, and Chance Reed, his son. And Kathy explained she wanted to really remember Darrin in such a way that gave back, as he did all the time. And so Kathy came up with the Darrin Reed Foundation and the First Responders Legacy Fund, which is a whole different separate deal. So we'll talk about the Darrin Reed Foundation. So it's a nonprofit, and people donate money to the fund with the expectation that it gets distributed in such a way that it helps drug trafficking in our community. That's our priority mission, and people less fortunate who just need a lift up, basically. So over the last 3 years, as this has developed, the foundation has given money to officers to attend different trainings like the ANOA training, the Arizona Narcotics Officers Association, to get the tools and education that they need to help fight drug trafficking in our area. And not only that, but around the state. Our officers in the city of Show Low have used that money to give people, buy a tire for a car so somebody can get out of town on their destination, or buy food or diapers or hotel rooms even.
Wow.
They've even purchased bus tickets for folks that were stranded. And so really it's become, so our officers are using that money, and if you understand how law enforcement's set up, you have department budgets and stuff that are really restricted and controlled, to where a lot of times these officers don't have the funds to help in that type of a manner, and they do pull money out of their pockets. And so this mission gives them those funds that they get approval by their patrol sergeant or their supervisor, and then they're able to take that fund directly without any other restriction, and help those people right now who need it.
Wow.
And so it's kind of a unique program that we're trying out. We're really trying to expand that to where we can take officers now and get them some of the bigger ticket items. So we're talking about buying a dog, a narcotic dog, bulletproof vest for dogs, tools like cameras and hand tools and stuff like that to do vehicle inspections, or even the trainings and such, ballistic shields that are sometimes $5,000 a piece. You know, those are ticket items that expire. Ballistic helmets expire, shields expire, bulletproof vests expire, and so you have to build into police budgets for those things. But what we're doing is trying to just give another leg up. So if they don't have it in the budget and they need it, they put in a request, we review it with our board, and then we purchase those items to keep our guys safe. And so as we move forward, I mean, we have a lot of work to do, obviously, and we're really still in the very beginning stages of what this foundation is capable of. But Kathy, her mission is to become, when she retires, is to basically work just for the foundation and to take that statewide. And so not only is it helping our community here in Show Low, but here in the next few years, we're hoping to reach out and provide those needs for multiple different agencies, multiple people who are struggling to really just get on their feet, or they have a need right here and right now. So here in a little while, I'd like to talk about what we're doing for this holiday season with some folks, but I want Tricia to kind of explain how to find us and where to, you know.
So, well, and to go back to your question too, is why it got started, and he kind of touched on it. Kathy and I have had, and I've been friends with Kathy for a long time, for many years, and we've had many discussions, and part of the starting the foundation was her and Chance were so overwhelmed with the support and love and compassion people sent her way when Darrin was murdered, and just the outpour of support, and she just wanted to be able to give back to the community as well, what was given to her. And so that was another reason why she wanted to start this foundation. And we've done a few fundraisers to do that, and people have been so giving in all the businesses in this community too. I have a lot of business partners and colleagues, and they've all stepped up to donate items, and I mean, it's unbelievable how much people are willing to give. And so now we're at a point that we have enough funds that we can start doing these things. And that was her, a lot of, law enforcement can get a bad name. It's in the media all the time. You see all the bad stuff, and that was one of her things too, is be able to give our officers the chance to interact with the people in the community in a positive way.
Yeah. And
so that's what we're doing with the funds, being able to do with the funds, and then we'll talk about the holiday give back as well. And right now we have a website that people can donate on. There's a donate button on there as well. It's DarrinReedFoundation.org. And then there's also the Facebook page. We do a lot on that. So we have a few things coming up, though, new things as well, as we continue to grow and expand. We actually are meeting with the Department of Child Safety, and they reached out to us and asked if we'd be willing to donate a room, their holding room for kids that they have to take from their families, and they have a holding room that they stay in there.
Like a safe room?
Like a safe room.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And it needs to be decorated kind of more comfortably for kids.
Yeah.
And so they reached out to us to see if we'd be willing to do that. So I think as a board we decided that we were going to do that. So these are just the little things that, but it's kind of encouraging, then people are reaching out to us. And it falls along the lines of our mission, and so it's getting really exciting.
And that's really where we want to get, where people are seeking us instead of the foundation seeking them.
Right.
So
that's how it should be. Especially when you got a good thing going, people are going to say, "I want to be a part of that."
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what Kathy's doing for her husband is she's making sure that he did not die in vain. That there's purposes and there's good things going on to be able to help stop how that happened.
Right.
Yeah.
To be able to make those things a change, and it's an ongoing concern up here on the mountain. I got to know Kathy and her little boy, her boy, a little bit because I got to go into their home. I'm a hospice chaplain.
Okay.
And so her mother was not doing well.
Right.
And so I got to be there when she was going through all this, and she's a good woman, good woman. How is she doing right now? I mean, I know this is helping her a lot by being a part of this. How is she doing?
She's doing good. She's doing good. She's one of the strongest women.
Oh, absolutely.
I know. I mean, and the most golden heart. She just, with everything that she went through, like with her mom and then Darrin and everything, she still just wants to give.
She got
constantly
a
giving.
huge heart.
Yeah.
And like Tricia said, she's a warrior. She really is. She just keeps trugging along and doing good things. So she's still working full time, and she's doing this part or full time too. So. And
really, it's just us. It's me and Kathy, and that are doing a lot of the fundraisers. So she does a lot of work too, and.
So is she like the president of this?
Yes.
Is she? So is there? You said you have a staff, and so how many people are on your board or your staff?
We have four
Four of
right
you.
now.
Right.
So you three, Kathy and you two,
And Chance.
And
her son.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it
Yeah.
right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and he's not little anymore.
No.
Yeah.
So
he's a young man.
Yes, and I think he was 18. I can't remember. So it's been 3 years, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so the foundation's been in existence a few months after. When did it come into be? Since after it happened.
It actually started. I'm sure you've heard both of them. There's a Darrin Reed Scholarship Fund as well.
The First Responders Legacy.
They changed it now to the First Responders Legacy Fund, and it was started by the veterans, I can't even remember, the VFW, thank you, sorry, and a couple other organizations, and they made it with kind of an umbrella, and then there's a Darrin Reed Scholarship, and then they're an umbrella over that.
Okay.
And that's where I started too, with Kathy. And Kathy's big in that as well.
Okay.
And so that's been actually built up. I think they gave out 20,000 in scholarships last year. I mean, it's really great to see. But then she kind of wanted to do something just in Darrin's name. That wasn't her mission, really. She wanted to. So
let's talk about that in just a little bit, and some of the other things you guys want to cover before we go. So we're going to take a little break, and we're going to talk about some of the things you haven't talked about and what you just were getting ready to talk about.
Great.
So we'll be right back. Welcome back, and we've been talking to the Spears here with the Darrin Reed Foundation, and we were talking about some of the things that they've been working on and doing in behalf of Kathy, this wonderful project you guys are doing for Darrin to always remember him and to be able to, this doesn't happen in vain, that they're going to try to stop some things so this doesn't happen again, try to get some stuff with equipment for the police officers and helping out people that are down and out. Tell me what some of the things you guys want to do in the near future, some of your directions you want to go.
So the most recent project we're working on right now, the foundation has donated a couple $1,000 back to the police station, and we're giving the first line supervisors the opportunity to organize their squads. So there's 4 patrol squads, and there's a detective squad that's working with our dispatch center. And those 5 groups are picking a family or a person or whatever it might be that really needs a hand through the holidays. And so they're given kind of carte blanche to do whatever they feel this person or family needs through the month of November and December, whether it's food, whether it's clothes, whether it's help with rent, utilities, whatever it is. So they're tasked with finding those people, getting their squads organized to follow up with them and have those interactions. And you know, we look at it as, I did 20 years in law enforcement, and so it's kind of that opportunity for the police officers, even more so than the public sometimes, to just feel good about what they're doing too.
Right.
You know, and when we talk about cops, we usually don't talk about feelings and feeling good and all this stuff, but that's a pretty stressful job. And when you can give back in that manner, then it really kind of lifts you up. You know, when you can see that what you're doing actually has a direct effect on somebody, you know, so positively.
Right.
Because a lot of times those guys, they get called names and spit on and things like this, and they deal with people at their worst a lot of times. And so it's really good to help and be part of something at its best, you know. So that's where we're going this holiday season. And then in the future, we've got some different fundraisers coming up. We're going to do some raffle items on the website and so on, some auction items and stuff like that, and then we'll organize another big event where we do live auctions and a dinner and so on. So those dates are to come.
Okay.
There's some other things that are affiliated with the foundation as fundraisers. One of them is a big motorcycle ride that gets organized through some guys there at the police station, and that's getting bigger and bigger. So they ride the whole White Mountains, and then we have some other smaller projects, and it's hard in such a short amount of time to throw them all out. I mean, in the few minutes we have together right now, but what we would really encourage people to do is follow the Facebook page, visit the website, and keep up to date on what's happening. It's a really good way for our community members to be involved, and I mean, they get to see we'll update the website and the Facebook page with what's going on and where the money's going and things like that. But it's a way that they can keep their dollars right now local and have responsible people, i.e. our police officers, distributing those money to the people they know needs it most. Right. So it's really just the way to do that. I mean, and our community, and Tricia can speak with this, we've had some big events in our lives, and our community has always came and lifted us up. And this project wouldn't be as far as it is right now without, like, the people Tricia talked about, our business leaders and different community members and stuff, and it's just phenomenal to see these folks come together and work on a project like that, you know.
But Trish, before we went to break, you were starting to talk about some like scholarships and stuff like that. So tell me a little bit about the scholarship program.
So the scholarship program is it's a completely different foundation from the Darrin Reed Foundation. It gets kind of confusing to the public because it's Darrin Reed. That's all they associate as Darrin Reed. But it is two different things. But they're doing amazing work. I was with it for the first couple years, and it was built up, and then Kathy came to me and she says, I want to do this foundation, just strictly, and this is my idea on it. And we sat and I said, well, I got to choose which one I'm going to do. And she goes, I want you on the foundation. So I said, okay. So that's kind of the start of the foundation. And then he came on board, and then Chance, and we did have one. She ended up moving away, so we are down to 4, but we're probably going to be looking for a couple more to get some help. Yeah, because it's getting big. It's getting. Yeah,
I'm surprised it's you 4. I mean, you guys must be just go.
It gets pretty crazy. It does. But it's exciting though. It's really exciting to see what's going on with that. But
So I want to get a little personal with you two. So what other things you guys do? Are you retired, or are you still part of law enforcement?
I had the opportunity to retire June 1st, and
Wow.
I jumped on
This
it.
year.
Yeah.
This year.
Good for
I
you.
did, yeah.
So you got all the freedom in the world right now, right?
Yeah.
Right? No.
Yeah, I
You're
wish
probably
I
more
did.
busier than ever.
I am,
I
but
make sure he's busy.
yeah, I stay very, very busy. So we have a couple other businesses, and we stay busy with those.
Okay.
And so, I mean, we're just running and gunning all the time. So
You have 2 children.
And the 2 teenagers keep us busy too.
Oh, yeah.
Samantha's 18, Ethan's 15, and well, she'll be 18.
She'll
next
be 18
week, yeah.
next week.
And so, yeah, we're just 100% busy.
We grew up here, both of us.
In Sholo?
In
or-
Sholo.
Oh, okay.
Well, he was born and raised here. I came when I was 8. I lived in Lake Havasu and moved up here when I was 8. So we've known each other since 5th grade, and this is our home. I mean, we've lived here ever since,
Yeah.
and we have some pretty deep roots here, and we love our community. And like he said, we lost our house to the Rodeo Chedeschi fire 18 years ago. And
Were you guys out towards Linden?
we were in
Yeah, we're in
Timberland
Linden.
Acres.
Linden.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
that's
so
Yeah.
and at that time the community came together even then, and it's just
And then we rebuilt, and that
We-
one burned down
we-
right when we moved into it.
Yeah,
So
we
had
lost
2 of
another
them.
house.
And the community never stopped. They just kept supporting, and so
So you felt the community helping. Now you're going to give back and do what you can. And
well, when you experience something like that, and I think I speak for both of us, I don't know that there's ever a point where you felt like you gave back enough.
right, I agree.
I mean,
yeah.
the support that they gave us, our community gave us, was tremendous. And to see it happen again when Darrin was killed, and it's just, you got to do something, right? So we chose to be part of this, and it's been a good ride so far. So
It's wonderful.
Learned a lot.
just to see, just to see those folks come together is something else. It really is, and
Makes you know that there's some good people out there.
There is.
Because in law enforcement, it feels like sometimes, me being the little time I had in it, it feels
Yeah.
like it's you against the world. And you don't know who's the bad guys and the good guys. So sometimes law enforcement, you feel like it's us, everybody's bad, and we're the good guys, because you don't know. And this is sometimes when you
Yeah.
get in the community and you get to see people in action, you feel like, okay, it's not just us against them. There's
Yeah.
people that are on our side and want to
Yeah.
help us and make a difference.
yeah.
Well, I can tell you, I'm talking with Kathy, and she goes to a lot of these they call them survivor spouses of
Retreats.
other retreats. And she's talked to other wives that have lost husbands, and in their communities, she goes, I feel so blessed because of what they never had that.
Wow.
And they had to deal with the scrutiny and a lot more, and she goes, I didn't have that. There was so much support here, and those other wives just can't believe how much support she got. So that just tells you how awesome this community is.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
That was on display the other night too. We did the 3rd candlelight vigil for Darrin in front of the police station, and I mean it just surprises me to see people that from the community that we don't even know. I mean, we grew up here, and to see them just come and show that support still 3 years later, it's pretty cool.
That's neat.
It's pretty powerful.
That's neat. When you keep stuff alive too, going, it's not going to be forgotten.
Yeah.
He'll never be forgotten because of this foundation, because what this group is doing and what people are doing, and that's so important. Remember, the word remember is one of the most important words in the English language. We have to remember our origin, why we're here, what we're doing as a people. It's not a me world. Sometimes it comes around across that way with all the likes and all that stuff
Yeah.
on Facebook, all those things. But
Well, you saying that you've been a life coach, you understand this, that you've got to be a part of something bigger than yourself to really live a fulfilled life.
Yep.
And we feel very strongly about that, and because so much has been given to us, that we're blessed that we want to be able to give that back too.
I agree. We're all beggars. You know, we all are. We don't even know when something's going to happen again, but we have to be somewhat prepared when that happens and navigate well. And when we're giving back, and we see the big picture, and we know that, you know, I'm a chaplain, so there is a great creator, there's somebody greater than us, and that's what makes us want to do those things that are good, because everything comes from a higher source. Right. And if we just went by our own instincts as our own, the man, women, the natural person that we can be, the evil people that we can get, you know, the flesh and all that stuff, we have to always remember who's in charge.
Absolutely.
Important. And this is a great program you guys are doing. It's incredible. And I hope you guys get a little bit more on their board soon. So you guys,
we're going to be working on that.
We're going to push for it. Yeah, our goal is to, like I said a little earlier, is to expand it not only to Show Low, but everywhere, you know, everywhere. So people are getting what they need. Not only the people who are stuck in the ditch, but the people trying to get them out. You know?
Right.
Everybody needs a hand, and so we just want to get the funds to the people who need it the most, to get the equipment, and the tools, and the resources now, instead of having to budget for it and so on. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you, you two, for what you're doing, and tell Kathy Ezra said hi. Okay.
I will.
And their son, Chance. And thank you for being here. And as things are going and progressing, you guys are welcome back anytime to be on the show.
Great.
Let us know how things are going. Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to do
that.
All right. Well, thanks for being here with Compassion Speaks, and get out there and serve your community here in the White Mountains and make a difference, because it'll help and make a difference in your own personal life as you do that. See you next time.